I'll zoom this in for a second. This is dated March the 9th, 2022 at 8:41. This is from the Hill. You can see this. Okay. Yeah, let's get back here just a second. They passed this thing as part of the spending package. Number one, they should not be allowed to add extra bills in there to get people to vote, send this stuff through. But they did, they have. Okay. So they reauthorized this bill. This Violence Against Women Act. Priority of President Biden, who championed the landmark legislation as a senator decades ago. Well, he was wrong then, he's wrong now, and so are these people that ushered this in. Schumer and Speaker Nancy Pelosi marked the news in a joint statement on Wednesday detailing the introduction of a larger $1.5 trillion funding. This thing expired many years ago, but now it's been reauthorized. I'll get down here to during a press conference, Feinstein said the measure would strengthen existing programs to support survivors and to prevent and to respond to domestic violence and dating violence and sexual assault and stalking. Okay. This also covers the LGBT survivors as well. But they left the so-called boyfriend loophole in there. And Senator Lisa Murkowski, Alaska, Republican. Senator Dianne Feinstein, California, Democrat. Joni Ernst, Republican in Iowa, and Dick Durbin, Democrat in Illinois, crafted the legislation. What was also attracting attention in recent months as actress Angelina Jolie has been working with lawmakers to promote this legislative effort. Okay, now you let Fuzzy get back here for a minute. Guys, lawmakers, everybody out there, this law is null and void, and it has been for years. It's ex post facto. Now the law says, when you look at it, it says, ex post facto laws do not apply. You're full of effing shit. Ex post facto is a law that's passed after the occurrence of a fact or a commission of an act, which retrospectively changes the legal consequences or relation of such fact or deed. Ex post facto law is defined in a law which provides for the infliction of punishment upon a person or an act done which, when it was committed, was innocent, or a law which aggravates a crime and makes it greater than it was when it was committed. A law that changes the punishment or inflicts a greater punishment than the law annexed for the crime when it was committed. A law that changes the rules of evidence and receives less of a different testimony that was required at the time of the commission of the offense in order to convict the offender. A law which assumes to regulate civil rights and remedies only in effect, and it imposes a penalty on to deprive you of a right which, when it was done, was lawful. A law which deprives a person accused of crimes of some lawful protection under which they have become entitled, such as a protection of former conviction or acquittal. Every law which, in relation to the offense of the consequences, alters the situation of a person to his disadvantage. That's an ex post facto. Why I'm saying that is, I had a couple friends who had some domestic problems in their life. Of course, all of them were able to get custody of their kids, and they raised them kids by themselves. Yep. So let's say from 1980 until 1997, these guys were perfectly legal to walk into a gun store and buy a firearm. Why? Because they paid their dues, they paid their court costs, they went through this, they got custody of their kids, all because of a woman. Now, every one of these guys had a woman who was messing around on them while they were at work. Leaving their kids alone, mind you, leaving their kids alone so they could go have fun. So, what do? They charge the guys. Well, the guys want to get this over and done with, so they They claim, oh, what the hell do I call that now? I forget what it's called. I have to think about that. But anyway, they claimed this one thing, and so the judge made the decision to charge them with domestic stuff. It wasn't called domestic violence back then. It's just a domestic thing going on at the house. So anyway, every one of these guys, when they accused their wives hauled off and slapped them and beat them and all that stuff, and their husbands pushed them down on the couch. Well, when they did that, then they could charge the husband. They didn't charge the damn wife. They charged the husband. It's always the guy. It's always the American guy on the short end of the stick. Now, women, I'm going to tell you something right now. And you think about this any which way you want. You know why guys don't want to marry you or be with you? It's because of the same thing. You see, the firearm rights are more important than you will ever be. Firearm rights gives that man that chance to be free his whole life. Whereas you don't. You don't stand up for it. I know it's all women aren't that way, but I know some are. I'm sorry, people, but that's the way it is. Right for a man to defend himself. That's all it counts. In one of these cases, the guy, his wife had said that she was going to come over and burn the house down with him and the kids in it. So he went to the door, and because there was a car out there, and he grabbed a BB gun and went out on the porch. Cops come up there, so apparently they figured, well, oh, he's got a gun. So they took all of his guns, but he got them back. He got them back less than a month later, all of them. So anyway, this law, the Violence Against Women Act, it's a retroactive law. It goes all the way back to Adam and Eve. That makes it a ex post facto law. It's null and void. It says so in your Constitution. It says so in your state constitution. You can't pass a law after the fact. It's like saying Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can't be in office because they pooped their pants as a kid. It's the same damn thing. Now, I feel bad for these people passing this law. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. It's not right. It's not fair to the men of America. And it doesn't protect you at all. A piece of paper won't protect you, ladies, at all. You want to protect yourself? Get away from your husband, your so-called husband, then get a firearm to protect yourself. But sure as hell, don't try to take a man's rights away from him. Okay, that's enough for today. I'll put a link in.